So this is a quick follow-up video. I have a link in the description for my original review of this Briggs & Stratton, Husqvarna pressure washer. All right, so this is completely optional, but I went ahead and installed this. If you would have seen my last video, I mentioned how there is no shutoff valve over here for the fuel, and I went ahead and installed it. So I bought this off of Amazon. I think it was about $4 and some change. First removed these little clips here. There's a clip here. There's a clip right there. So I slid them off. I removed the tube, and I went ahead and cut off a little piece of the tube and inserted this shutoff valve. It was a little tricky getting it in. Now, unfortunately, the seller did not give me any clips for the actual valve itself, so I went ahead and jerry-rigged some zip ties. I'm not sure about the long-term durability, but I have done this before using zip ties, and it held up for about 3 years. So in any case, quick little job. These are the tools that I used. I had some pliers and some zip ties, and it was a very quick and easy job. So if you guys are interested in doing this, this may be a good little trick. All right, so when it comes to soap bottle, I'm gonna go ahead and just use my own soap bottle for right now. There is a Briggs & Stratton one, but I'll get into that later. But for your own, here's like a jug that I have. This is one of the two cords that came in. I just went ahead and put it onto that nipple right there. And I'm gonna go ahead and loop this and try to see if I can try to use some sort of bungee cord system where I can maybe tie it in somewhere back here. I'll see how that works. All right, so here's my ghetto makeshift idea that I just went ahead and created just within 5 minutes using bungee cords. We've got a bungee cord up here, wrapped around this jug, and down here have it somewhat supported. Here's a tubing, and I figured I could put the tubing into there. This isn't ideal. I'm not too happy with it, but hey, this is what you got to deal with when you get a cheap pressure washer from Costco. It's somewhat mobile. You got to still be a little careful. All right. All right, let's see if this thing works. I'm gonna go ahead and try to pressure wash my deck, and I have some cleaner there, and my understanding is it should only work with this tip here. So I'm gonna see if I can give that a shot. So here I am with my new valve. So my valve is off. I ran the carburetor dry already. I put fresh fuel in here. So as of right now, there's absolutely no fuel in the carburetor, but there's fuel in here. I have it on. I have the water, the hose on, just kind of prove my point. Already ran air through the hose. We'll go ahead and try to start it just to show you that the valve works. Right? It won't start. The reason why it won't start is because the fuel is off. Go ahead and turn the fuel on. Run some water through here real quick. All right, let's try to see if we can get it started. It's so hard to do this one-handed. All right, so it's running right now. Here's that hose. Go ahead and take this off. Stick this in here. All right. Take this. Put it on the hose. All right, got on the hose. All right, I got it to work. I didn't have the hose deep enough. But now it does work. All right, I got to play around with it a little bit. Looks like where it's seated, the tube is too short. Gotta go ahead and play around with this a little bit more. All right, so the soap dispenser thing worked. I pretty much emptied it all out and put it away. So far so good. We'll go ahead and pressure wash my deck, and let's see how this goes. All right, I'm gonna run the carburetor dry. It's currently off. Try to keep for this carburetor to run dry. That's what I wanted. So now the carburetor's been run dry. Good for storage. Once I'm done pressure washing the deck, I went ahead and I turned this off. Just like I showed you before, I went ahead and waited for it to pretty much shut itself off, running the carburetor dry. There is still gasoline in here, but the carburetor is now dry. I do plan on using this probably within the next couple days, so I'm just going to leave that gasoline there, and that's okay within 2 weeks. Now, if I did plan on not using this for a long period of time, unclamp that with this shutoff valve, and then drain it into a pan and open it up and just drain this whole thing out. That's what you should do at least every fall or winter once you're going to go ahead and store that. I went ahead and disconnected the hoses. When you shut this off, make sure you depress this hose. Make sure you go ahead and turn it on, so then that way you relieve all the pressure. You can go ahead and take the hoses off. I'm going to go ahead and now pull the cord 6 times. Get any water out of the pump. Make sure this is off. That's one. Alright. All the hoses are put away. This thing is good to be stored for the next couple of days. Okay, so when it comes to how to use the soap, as I mentioned before, over here there's this little nozzle right there. That's where you'll go ahead and connect the tube. You have 2 options. You have a clear tube, and you have this blue tube over here. This clear tube, that when you use this, is basically when you plan on using your own jug. So you'll just connect that down there, and the other end will be into your own jug. I'm not a big fan of this. I mean, I guess it's kind of cool that you have your own option. You can just pretty much just use whatever jug that you want, but I just feel like they cheaped out. And then the other option is using this tube. So same thing. This would go over here. So when would you use this? So I'll go ahead and show a link in my description. This is the bottle that you would use. It's Briggs & Stratton bottle, and it would go here. Now, this is not the right bottle. This is just a demonstration purposes. I placed an order for it, but you know, with the whole COVID outbreak going on, Amazon can take anywhere from 1 day to 2 weeks. So I'm still waiting for that to show up. But this, let's just pretend this was the right tube, the Briggs & Stratton one. It will go here. When you do order it, and you use up that soap, just keep the bottle, and then what you could do is just fill it up with any of your own kind. So that's just an option. And the last option is actually this bottle here. So if you like washing your cars, this is an adapter that will go at the actual end of your nozzle. So it would connect to there, and it's a foamer. So I use this to actually wash my cars. But that's how you would use these two. So this was my very first time cleaning my deck with this pressure washer, and I am impressed with it. Before, I used to have a Sun Joe electric pressure washer, and it did okay. It just took a really long time. This thing is powerful. This pressure washer is powerful. I was able to quickly power wash and get quick stains off of my siding and my deck. So I am happy with it. I'm just a little disappointed on some of the items that they cheaped out on. You know, so far, let's see how many years I can get out of this. I've touched up on a couple YouTube videos, so I do plan on doing my maintenance, as I mentioned before, yearly oil changes, running my carburetor dry, and then making sure that I drain my gasoline, as well as keeping an eye on my spark plug, making sure that the gap is correct and making sure that it's not fouled up. And I think if I keep on doing that, hopefully I can get several years of use out of this. If anything, what's probably going to end up failing on me first is probably going to be this pump. I hear that these vertical pressure washers, the pumps tend to go bad quicker versus the horizontal ones that have the pump back here. Those are a lot more expensive and a lot more higher quality. Obviously, I was trying to get a pressure washer that was powerful on the cheap, and this is what I guess a lot of folks who bought this were trying to do as well too, just like me. Now, when it comes to gasoline, I'm using regular 87 octane gasoline, the regular gasoline that you put in your car right at the pump. That's the type of gasoline that typically brings 10% of ethanol already in gasoline. So I made sure that all my gasoline has stable in it. If you can try to get the gasoline with absolutely no ethanol, you know, good luck. Hopefully you can get a hold of that. It's a little difficult for me where I'm physically located geographically. Another thing I failed to mention is when you're getting ready to pretty much store this for several months, you want to go ahead and use one of these. It's a pump saver. So pretty much connect that down there, spray the bottle, you'll see a little bit come out. Just read the directions on this and pretty much you'll save your pump and make sure that it lasts longer. So overall, in summary, I have mixed feelings about this. I am impressed with the pressure washer ability of this. I love the way this thing is able to cut through grime and give me the power that I need to be able to clean up the siding, you know, bird poop or anything. This thing just goes through it, and I have a variety of different nozzles I can use. Be careful with the 0 degree, by the way. Don't use that unless it's on concrete. I do like the pressure washer, just has some shortcomings. So just going down a list very quickly, the shortcomings is 1, the plastic carburetor, 2, a missing valve, 3, no soap dispenser, and 4 is the gimmick of not having to change your oil and just adding. Don't fall for that gimmick. So those are the 4 negative things that I can say about this, but overall I am satisfied with it. Fingers crossed that this does last me a good long amount of time. Hopefully I don't get jinxed. We'll see how long of good use I can get out of this pressure washer.